North Carolina's starting lineup does feature a couple of changes from their first match of this NCAA tournament, which was a 5-0 win over Old Dominion. Tessa Della Rose will come off the bench tonight for North Carolina. Emerson Elgin makes the start along the back line. So the Tar Heels are without Della Rose, an ACC all-freshman team selection, part of a back line that's been a revolving door at times for Carolina this year. Full Tar Heels starting 11 features Emmy Allen in goal, Julia Dorsey, Tori Hansen, Emerson Elgin, Emily Moxley along the back line. Emily Colton, Libby Moore, Talia Della Peruta through the midfield, Avery Patterson, Allie Sentner, Isabel Cox. The unit that will start up front, but you see early on, Carolina has dropped Avery Patterson back. So Patterson, who has been a standout scorer for North Carolina this season, she leads the team with 11 goals. Patterson playing back along the back line for the Tar Heels at the outside back spot, vacated by Della Rose. Isabel Cox at the top of the formation as a striker, middle of your screen. Georgia on the attack. Ball over the top, sprayed out wide for Mally McKenzie. McKenzie deep in the corner, working on the aforementioned Patterson, gets it around her. Cross coming in, and a golden opportunity for the Bulldogs goes by the wayside. No one there along the far post to take advantage of a brilliant cross in front of Carolina keeper Emmy Allen. Less than 90 seconds into the game, Georgia with a golden opportunity to strike first. North Carolina, though, holds steady. Starting alignment for Georgia in what is officially a 5-4-1. Jordan Brown is in goal. Back line features Madison Haugen, Jessie Dunn, Ellie Gilbert, Cecily Stout, and Morgan Hart. So here comes Carolina. Up the flank, Isabel Cox. Can't get the corner turned, and it's Haugen that ushers the ball out of bounds for a Tar Heel throw. Midfield for Georgia, Taylor Risch, Abby Boyan, the All-SEC first team selection, Kate Harden, Mally McKenzie, we called her name on the cross, and Danny Murguia at the top of the formation, the striker for the Bulldogs. North Carolina under the direction of the legendary Anson Dorritz, the only coach this program has ever known. 44th year at the helm of the Tar Heels, 22-time national champion. He has led Carolina to every single NCAA tournament that's been contested. That's all 41 of them now. So 21 College Cup titles, a 22nd national championship that it was won prior to the NCAA taking over the Women's Soccer Championship. 917 wins for the man for whom this facility is named. He will match wits tonight with a fellow national champion. The 2016 national champion at the University of Southern California, Kadani McAlpine, in his first year in Athens. Very successful run in Los Angeles, led USC to 8 straight NCAA tournament appearances. There's Coach McAlpine, 1997 alum of Birmingham Southern, who has taken Georgia into the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2014. They've advanced for the first time since 2011. And they hosted a match last week in this tournament for the first time since 2007. So a whole lot of first times since in the Kadani McAlpine era, just year one in Athens. Patterson playing back along the back line tonight. Colton pushes forward for Allie Sentner. First career brace for the standout redshirt freshman in that first round win for the Tar Heels against Old Dominion. Long ball over the top, looking for Murguia. Murguia down in the corner, 1v1 against Elgin. Murguia, a brilliant cross. Both teams aggressive on the defensive side early, dropping bodies back. North Carolina sending Patterson back, one of their key offensive threats. Meanwhile, Georgia, we told you, a 5-4-1. Defensive-minded formation for Coach McAlpine. Talia Della Peruta, Georgia native from Cumming, Georgia, way off her line to bang it away. Jordan Brown, freshman goalkeeper out of Las Vegas. Julia Dorsey watches the ball go all the way over the end line. Goal kick for the Tar Heels. Georgia's first round matchup last week, 2-0 win over Samford. The Bulldogs, champions of the Southern Conference. Murguia scored in the 10th minute off a Madison Haugen assist to put the Bulldogs on the board. And Jesse Dunn became the 16th Bulldog this season to score in the 38th minute off a rebound. 16 different goal scorers for Georgia this season. That ties a program record with their 1998 team. Their 1998 team, the only one in program history to reach the round of 16. A win tonight, and this year's team joins them. How's that for symmetry? Brown, the goalkeeper, sends the free kick way over the top of the bar past Emmy Allen. Allen started every game between the pipes for North Carolina. Began the year splitting time with Mars Josephson, won the job outright toward the end of the non-conference portion of the season. And Allen, the native of High Point, North Carolina, has been solid this year in goal for the Tar Heels. Clean sheet last time out against Old Dominion. Dominant 5-0 effort as North Carolina dispatched the Sun Belt champions last Saturday night. Now here they are facing Georgia for the 5th time in program history. Carolina leads the all-time series 4-0. Last time the two teams got together was in this NCAA tournament second round back in 2009. Here in Chapel Hill, the Tar Heels victorious in that matchup, 4-0 en route to winning the College Cup that year. Here's Sentner over the ball, 2-time goal scorer last time out. Looking for Colton, nice through ball, but check out all those red jerseys back there for Georgia to play it back to the keeper, Brown. Emerson Elgin making the start in place of Tessa Delarose. So Elgin holding down one of the center back spots along with Tori Hansen. Julia Dorsey at the outside right back, which has pushed Emily Moxley. Dorsey 7 in white, Moxley 8 in white, top left of your screen, up to the midfield line. Delarose is available for the Tar Heels tonight, but just not making the start. Nice tackle, ball won back by the Bulldogs. That's Abby Boyan, 5 in red, all SEC first team selection for Georgia this season. Switch of play. Patterson, she's going to be dangerous on overlapping runs tonight. Sentner gives it right back to the goal-scoring leader. One touch for Colton centrally. Tori Hansen to Patterson on the wing. Patterson slipped forward for Sentner. Sentner turns inside the box, draws 2 defenders. Sentner loses her footing. It seems that Allie Sentner is at her most dangerous when she receives the ball inside the box. A little bit off of the line of one of the posts. And then makes a turn. So skilled with the ball at her feet. But Georgia's withstood the early pressure. Bulldogs have the lone shot in this one. Miscommunication leads to a giveaway for the Bulldogs. 13-5-3 on the season. 5-3-2 in SEC play. Georgia arrives into this second round matchup in great form. Unbeaten in their last 7. 5-0-2 in the span. They drew South Carolina in the SEC tournament semifinals. Fell in PKs to the Gamecocks. Eventually dropped the championship match to Alabama. Crimson Tide champions of the SEC this year under Coach of the Year Wes Hart. The other non-win for Georgia in that span against Mississippi State, a 1-1 draw in the regular season finale. Murguia trying to dribble through a couple of Carolina defenders. On the counter, here comes Avery Patterson. Patterson, back heel flick onto Sentner. Sentner, 1v1. She's dangerous from here. Sentner makes her way end line, gets in a cross, defended well. Cut out, but right back to Sentner. Sentner's second cross, blocked. Allie Sentner hunting the opportunity to find a teammate in front of the goal mouth, but defended really well by the Bulldogs. Cecily Stout, graduate student from Alpharetta, Georgia, 24 in red. Got the first block there. Jessie Dunn, 6 in red, also involved. Switch of play for Dorsey. Dorsey back to fitness after missing the last 2 regular season matches due to injury. Returned for Carolina's ACC tournament run. Tar Heels drew Duke but advanced on PK 7-6 in the semifinals. Then fell in the championship game 2-1 to Florida State. Game in which the Tar Heels were held without a corner for the first time all year in a season-low 7 shots. After that contest, Anson Dorrance said, the front line needs to be more than just the Avery Patterson show. Patterson had the Tar Heels 1 goal in that game. Carolina responded in a major way against Old Dominion. No foul, play on, Isabel Cox. Cox making her run, but Brown, the keeper, wins the foot race. Della Peruta building the attack once more. Moxley playing up on the midfield line. Libby Moore, a starter now for the last 7 games for the Tar Heels at the holding mid spot, 20 in white, former walk-on. There's Della Peruta. If you didn't know it was cold before, we zoom in on Talia Della Peruta, now you know. She's got the headband on, covering up the ears, gloves. At least for the earlier games, the men's game at noon, and at least for the first half of the women's game between BYU and Stanford, you got the solar heat involved. Now that the sun's gone down, no more solar heat on a chilly, unseasonably cold November night at Dorrance Fields. Georgia trying to penetrate the box. Haugen looking forward, not a play. But more than just the Avery Patterson show for the Carolina front line. Against Old Dominion, Tar Heels saw a brace from Allie Sentner, first in her career. Maddie Dahlian off the bench, scoring her second goal, plus a nice assist on the second Sentner goal. Even Lauren Wrigley scoring her first career goal late in the proceedings for the 5th and final tally. Here comes Patterson. All sorts of space to operate. Check out the speed for Patterson. Blows by her defender. Patterson a shot. No one there on the far post, though. Avery Patterson did what she could. Blew by Cecily Stout. And if Colton or Sentner is just a step or 2 ahead, it's 1-0 Tar Heels. First shot of the game officially for North Carolina. Shot tally now even at 1. Mally McKenzie, room on the flank. McKenzie from distance, Tori Hansen. An anchor on the back line for the Tar Heels, able to send it away. Sentner leads the quick counter. Colton's got a wheel back for it. Stout playing up from her back line spot. North Carolina's back line has been a point of discussion all season long. Anson Dorrance in the preseason, he said this may be one of his deepest teams ever. But there was one spot where he thought that Carolina was a little bit thin, and that was center back. Well, first game of the season against Tennessee, Tar Heels earn the win but lose the All-ACC pick Macy Bell to a season-ending injury. She's replaced by young Kaylee Hare. Hare goes down with a season-ending injury against UCLA in early September. And so the Tar Heels had to get creative. Ball too heavy for Sentner. Another golden chance early for the Tar Heels. But getting creative meant putting Emily Moxley at outside back, moving Julia Dorsey inside. Dorsey had been a career outside back for the Tar Heels, but Dorsey and Tori Hansen called upon. Meanwhile, the keeper Brown slipped on the natural grass surface. And Georgia, quite honestly, lucky that that ball got away, and Brown looks like she kind of fell hard on her backside. Dorsey back to the outside back spot, throws it in. Playing outside back tonight with Moxley up on the midfield line and Patterson at left back for the Tar Heels. Tori Hansen played more minutes this year than her previous 3 seasons combined. 7 goals. She's become a penalty kick ace, 4 for 4 at the penalty spot this year. Didn't have an assist, though, until the Old Dominion game when she had 2. Brilliant balls from behind the center line forward that led to quick Carolina goals. Sentner in space. The through ball looking for Cox. One back by Georgia. And this Carolina formation has started to morph as this first half has gone along. It's got principles of a 3-5-1 now as Carolina tries to unlock this 5-4-1 of Georgia. Possession definitely going more the Tar Heels' way of late. Anson Dorrance has played a 3-5-1 in the past. He utilized it in 2019. Last time the Tar Heels played in a national championship game. They fell in PKs to Stanford that year. But a roster that featured talented future pros in Emily Fox, Taylor Otto, Lotta Wubben-Moy. The 3-5-1. Carolina went to that midway through that season. Here's Boyan. Boyan from outside the box looking for a shooting lane. McKenzie moving centrally. Out wide. Haugen. Della Peruzza takes it away. Drops it back for a trailing Moxley. Sentner again as the Tar Heels push the numbers forward. They've got a 3-on-4. Georgia with an extra body. Sentner from distance. Thought about testing Brown. Misses wide of the near post. But Carolina's had a little bit of trouble timing up their runs early on. Sentner just dials it from well outside the box. Might be the right idea given the way that Carolina's controlled possession of late. Make sure that Brown's okay, especially after that hard fall a couple minutes ago. But that 3-5-1 that Anson Dorrance has played through the years, he told the story at the time that it was a game in 2019 on the road against Pitt, and Damon Nahas, the associate head coach, joined this program in 2015. Damon scribbled it out on a piece of scratch paper on the bench against Pitt. Tar Heels went to it, wrote it all the way to the national title game. Place they are seeking to return to this year in the College Cup and Cary. Boyan. Sentner takes it back. Now a 4-on-4. Colton. Central pass. Deflected. Patterson to Libby Moore. look at the way that Kidani McAlpine is instructing his team in front of the Georgia bench. Constantly gesticulating. Right side of your screen up at the top. As Colton wins it back for the Tar Heels. Moxley. Out wide for Patterson. Carolina building and building. Colton's cross. Cox tried the volley. And it's out for a goal kick. Still no corners in this one. Another look. Colton sent it toward Cox. Jesse Dunn was right on the backside of Isabel Cox. Prevented Cox from cleanly volleying that one home. Let's Go Georgia chant breaking out from the folks in red and black, making the trip up from the Peach State. Allie McKenzie in space. Ruled out. Well, she may have gotten there before it bounced away. Closing in on halfway through our first half of action. Round of 32 of the NCAA Women's Soccer Tournament for 2022. Host and Regional 2 seed North Carolina taking on the Region 7 seed Georgia. The Regional 6 seed BYU advanced past Stanford on penalty kicks in our first round of 32 matchup played at this field today. The Cougars await the Bulldogs and Tar Heels winner Saturday morning at 11:30 a.m. right here on ESPN Plus in the round of 16. Served into the box. Moxley. Moxley, whose best quality, according to Anson Dorrance, is serving the ball. He's trying to connect with Cox. Now here comes Georgia on the counter. Look at this run for Allie McKenzie. McKenzie's cross, headed out. Patterson keeps the ball at her feet. Waits for things to settle and switches play out toward Moxley. Patterson. Sentner now. Sentner turns, keeps the ball at her feet. Sentner moving right, takes a shot, and scores! Are you serious? Allie Sentner! Patterson connecting with Sentner, turns the corner on her defender, steps past another, and the right-footed boot goes home. That was amazing. Allie Sentner's third goal of the NCAA tournament, a brace against Old Dominion last time out. And Allie Sentner puts the Tar Heels on the scoreboard first here tonight.
Number 5,
Maggie Pierce, Maddie Dolly, the first subs onto the field for the Tar Heels after the goal, following the substitution pattern that Anson Dorrance utilized in the first round against Old Dominion. Della Peruta, the Tar Heels hunting another one. Here's Dolly in the substitute. Had a goal and an assist on Saturday night. Maggie Pierce was the starter at holding mid much of the season before Moore took over those duties late, but Pierce still playing solid minutes. Headed on. Stout bangs it away. Cecily Stouts, graduate student from Alpharetta, Georgia. Kidani McAlpine said, the goal this year for Georgia, get these seniors into the NCAA tournament to experience that. Georgia making the return to the field of 64 for the first time since 2014. Sentner again sends Brown down to her knees. Ball nearly snuck through. And Jordan Brown cradles the ball. Just a freshman out of Las Vegas. Sentner's ability to turn while maintaining possession of the ball, second to none of any player at the college level. Just a redshirt freshman. Sentner, one of the most highly touted recruits in the class of 2021, tore her ACL against UNCW in a preseason exhibition in the first half. First exhibition of her first college season. Missed all of last year, made the long road to recovery, debuted for the Tar Heels in, just by coincidence, the second game of this regular season against UNCW, scored her first goal in that first game. Hasn't been all smooth sailing all the way through this year. She's bounced in and out of the starting lineup. But her NCAA tournament debut has been a dream start for both Sentner and the Tar Heels. 3 goals in 3 halves. Della Peruta. Foul call against Carolina. Back it goes. Bulldogs. Get a look at Taylor Risch, junior out of Alpharetta, Georgia. For Risch, first career start tonight. What a time for a first career start. But the Bulldogs trying to get creative tactically to limit the potent North Carolina attack. Only Sentner, though, with the goal. And now, here's Darlene. Darlene has a lot of speed, makes her way into the box. Sentner trails her. Back heel flick to Moxley to keep it alive. Pierce for Della Peruta. Della Peruta turns on the Jets. Back for Darlene, takes a shot wide of the right post. Maddie Darlene feels like a broken record. If you watch the Tar Heels this year, you hear about it. Track star in her native Minnesota. Swept the state title in the 100-meter, 200-meter, 400-meter dashes. Corner for the Tar Heels, their first of the game. Carolina foul. Center referee tonight, Stephen Foster. Aaron Gallagher, Benjamin Wooten are ARs, and Mr. Foster saw some egregious contact there. Stout bringing it up from the back line. Kate Harden. Georgia still yet to substitute. Harden. Risch. 1v1 against Patterson. Bulldogs in search of an equalizer. After Sentner's first goal, Hansen and the Tar Heels thought that should have been a handball on Boyan. Deemed that it contacted her shoulder. Risch's cross, Harden back heel flick. Boyan wasn't ready for it though, and Della Peruta takes it away. Boyan over the top, and Allen plays it in. North Carolina, 41 appearances in 41 NCAA tournaments. They have only failed to make the round of 16 twice. Once in 2015 when they were tripped up by Texas A&M in the second round in Clemson, South Carolina. And last year when they fell to South Carolina, 1-0 win for the Gamecocks here at Dorrance Field in the first round, Carolina's first ever first round exit. Anson Dorrance has said that loss left such a big chip on the shoulder of his team. That's how you know it's cold right there. Anson Dorrance is famous for wearing a baseball cap and his trademark dress shirt with a tie on the sideline. Tonight he's in the stocking cap and the big puffy jacket. Moxley crosses it right into the arms of Brown. Anson in the Carolina blue stocking cap, Kenani McAlpine in the familiar Georgia red stocking cap, or a beanie. Some people call that a toboggan. You can have a debate for hours as to what you call that thing. Just depends on what part of the country you're from. Subs galore. Carolina will bring in their trademark line change. The Game Changers, as they're called. Starters heading off. The second wave that includes names like Allie Gambone, team captain. Emily Murphy comes on. Tori Della Peruta, the younger sister of Talia. And coming off the bench for the first time this season, Tessa Della Rose. Bella Sember, one of those substitutes, sends it forward. Darlene. Sember looking for Della Rose, taken back by Stout. Georgia also making 3 subs. Alyssa Statiker, 19 in red, one of those subs. Rebecca Warmer. Joya Washington as well in. Tessa Della Rose. All ACC third team, all ACC freshman team, off the bench for the first time this year. 21 appearances, 21 starts. The first games of the season. Moxley wheels it back for Dorsey. Gambone, senior captain, first goal this season against Tennessee in the opener. Della Rose. Della Rose fires in a cross toward the back post. Neither Della Peruta nor Murphy could play it. So a corner for North Carolina as the clock bleeds below 12 minutes in the opening half. Check that. Deep in the corner, down to the left of our broadcast vantage point. It's a throw-in. Sember. Punched away by Brown. Carolina now ahead in shots, 5-1. 2 shots on goal for the Tar Heels. Two on one for Georgia. Warmer, the substitute. Warmer looking forward. And you get the feeling that that's going to be Georgia's best chance here tonight to try and strike on a quick counter. Rebecca Warmer, sophomore from San Jose, California. Just down the street from Stanford, who bowed out in PKs to BYU in our first game here today. BYU's Cougars awaiting the winner of this game tonight in the round of 16 Saturday morning. Della Peruta, flag is up. Carolina called offside for the first time tonight. A couple of common opponents for these two throughout the year. Georgia played a couple of ACC teams, non-conference action. 2 losses, 3-1 loss to Florida State, 1-0 loss to Wake Forest. North Carolina played 2 SEC teams in their non-league portion of the schedule. Wins over Tennessee, 3-0 at home. Missouri, 3-1 on the road. Tennessee, 2-0 win over Georgia in the regular season. Both of these teams beat Missouri. Carolina winning 3-1. Georgia won 2-0. Here's Darlene. Darlene, 1-on-1 against Stout. Works her end line. Stout sends it away for a corner. Second Tar Heel corner. Darlene a little slow to get up. Receives a pat on the back from Emily Murphy, her teammate. There's Darlene's speed on display again. Just enough hesitation to throw off Stout, turn the Jets back on. But Stout does well to prevent her from turning the corner here. Sending it out for a corner with 9 left in the first half. Emily Moxley over the ball for the corner. Right into the midst of Jordan Brown. Stout throws it in. Joelle Washington, 12 in red off the bench. One of the 3 subs that entered for Georgia. Sember. Tar Heels trying to build toward a second goal before the teams go warm up in the locker room. And by warm up, we mean in the literal sense. Not go run some passing drills amidst the chairs. Julia Dorsey trying to become a 2-time national champion in the same calendar year. Defender on the University of North Carolina women's lacrosse team. Undefeated national champions in the spring. Now Dorsey hoping to raise the soccer trophy in December. Moxley slips it back for Pierce. Dowling. Dowling. Her cross. Georgia takes it away. The shot number's only 5-1 North Carolina, but the possession factor and build-up factor, if you were to quantify that, be heavily tilted toward the Tar Heels, though Georgia has had their moments. Georgia's conceded just 2 goals in this unbeaten run of 7 games. 1-1 draws in both of the games in which they've conceded. Dowling back for Sember. One touch on De La Rose. Gambone. De La Rose on the overlapping run. Right to Brown. Georgia in the second round of the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2011. Gambone and the Tar Heels. Seeing Stephen Foster have a bit of an extended talking to Georgia. No card, though. So this Bulldog team has reached this round of the tournament for the first time in 11 years. Each of their last 3 games played in the round of 32 have been on Tobacco Road. 2007 loss to Duke, 2009 to North Carolina, 2011 to the Blue Devils. Flag comes up. Emily Murphy offside. The English native jogs back away. Product of the Chelsea Academy. Georgia will have a throw here, but first a couple of subs. Tori Penn started in the Friday game against Samford. So Tori Penn checks in, as does Ruby Hellstrom, graduate forward from San Diego, transfer from the University of Washington. Hellstrom has played the Tar Heels in the tournament before. Carolina and Washington faced off in the 2020 event. It was held in the spring of 2021. Tori Hansen in the game-winning goal in that game for the Tar Heels. Dowling stays on side, plays it centrally, looking for Murphy. Joyelle Washington and the Bulldogs a couple minutes away from keeping this a 1-0 game into the half. Given all the pressure North Carolina put on the Bulldogs throughout the middle portion of this half, and Allie Sentner breaking the ice with the 1 goal in this game, Georgia's done well to keep it within striking distance at 1-0. 23rd minute goal by Sentner. And you know Georgia knows the fact that North Carolina's 4 losses this season, UCLA, Virginia Tech in the regular season, then Florida State in the ACC championship game. Carolina led all of them. Either 1-0 or 2-0. Dropped all 4 of those games. Hellstrom chasing after it with Dorsey. Lofted into the box and past the run of the substitute Tori Penn. All SEC pick Abby Boyan.
1 minute remaining in the first half. 1 minute remaining.
Here's the announcement that there's 1 minute left in the first half. Tar Heels trying to build for one more quality look before heading to the locker room. Tori Della Peruta dollying in pursuit. Check out this speed. It's Morgan Hart bringing it up. Gambone takes it back for the Tar Heels. Just 20 seconds left, though. Forward toward Della Peruta. Final 10 seconds and one last push for the Bulldogs. Harden over for Stout. Stout blasts in across. Sails well past the goal, and the first half draws to a close. Allie Sentner's tally in the 23rd minute. One of the more beautiful goals you'll ever. Redshirt freshman from Massachusetts, and her Tar Heels finding themselves now 45 minutes away from a round of 16 dates against the BYU Cougars on Saturday morning. Georgia, meanwhile, they know that North Carolina has squandered 4 leads this season, and Kidani McAlpine's Bulldogs unbeaten in their last 7 games. They had moments during that first half, got off a couple of shots. 5-2 shot advantage for North Carolina, 2-0 shots on goal. And we'll see what adjustments Georgia makes into the second half, or if the Tar Heels can find their way to an insurance goal, if not more. 5th all-time meeting between these two ACC and SEC opponents. Georgia in the NCAA tournament round of 32 for the first time since 2011. North Carolina is here for the first time in 2 years. And the Tar Heels looking to return to the round of 16. Look at Georgia's bench over there. They're into the swag surf. Prior to the start of this second half, Georgia in the red, North Carolina in the whites. I'm Matt Kraus. Thanks so much for being with us. The second half underway from Dorrance Field. Allie Sentner back out there for the Tar Heels. Sentner a well-deserved rest in the last 15 or so minutes of that opening half of play. Carolina playing again tonight without Sam Meza. Meza, all ACC midfielder, one of the better on-ball defenders. Sanson Torrance will tell you she's the best on-ball defender in the country, but she's battled shin splints all year long. And so Meza has bounced in and out of the lineup. Carolina has held her out of certain games, specifically weeks in which there are 2 games, in order to preserve her ability to play. Sentner slips it forward, trying to connect with Talia Della Peruta. Winds up bouncing back to Emerson Elgin, making the start tonight. Just the 3rd start of the season for Emerson Elgin. Redshirt freshman out of Franklin Lakes, New Jersey. Started when Julia Dorsey was injured in the late stages of the regular season, but with Tessa Delarose coming off the bench for the first time tonight, Elgin inserted into the starting lineup. Here's Isabel Cox. Cox working end line, cross sent out. It's a Carolina corner. Sentner will take it for the Tar Heels. Top of the 6, headed on, and Jordan Brown plays it. The freshman goalkeeper for Georgia has been tested a lot tonight, but Brown makes her 2nd save of the evening. Not just on shots, but Brown has handled a lot of Carolina's dangerous crosses coming in from the wings. Definitely held her own against the potent Tar Heel attack. But should North Carolina hold on to this lead, take on BYU on Saturday morning, would not be surprised to see Meza available, especially for a player who has struggled with full fitness for the Thursday, Sunday turnarounds that you'll see in ACC competition and SEC competition as well. But an even tighter turnaround, playing here Thursday night and then playing Saturday morning. We'll see on game day on Saturday if North Carolina makes it there. But you would think that Meza would take on a greater role against a BYU team that is one of the best offenses in the entire country. Even though they scored just one goal in the regulation and overtime session today en route to their 1-1 draw and penalty kick advancement, they still pelted Stanford's goalkeeper Ryan Campbell with shots. 22 of them, 12 on frame. Julia Dorsey to throw it in for the Tar Heels. Good ball down the sideline. Abby Boyan can't get there, though, for Georgia. Sent out by Elgin. Bulldog throw. Haugen. Settled down, but played away. Abby Boyan, the All-SEC first-team selection for the Georgia Bulldogs in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2014. Winners 2-0 over another group of Bulldogs from Samford, champions of the Southern Conference. First-round matchup on Friday. Now Georgia here in Chapel Hill. The Bulldogs pushing it forward again. Big night for number 9 in red, Taylor Risch, her first career start tonight. Georgia's utilizing a 5-4-1 formation. One true striker at the top of the formation, and you see her applying pressure there. It's 4 in red. Danny Murguia. Kadani McAlpine, the first-year head coach in Athens, mixing things up tactically, trying to slow down North Carolina's offense. And even though Ali Sentnor did score that goal in the first half for Carolina, you can give a lot of credit to Georgia in the way in which they shut down a Tar Heel offense. Now, the challenge, of course, in playing a 5-4-1 formation is creating quality opportunities for offensive buildup. Georgia's gotten a couple of pushes down the field on quick counters. Here comes Carolina. Look at this speed. Patterson drops it back for Della Peruta. Forward and in! The Georgian scores against her home state team. Avery Patterson explodes through the midfield, drops it off for Della Peruta, and Talia Della Peruta scores her second goal of the season. And a hug for Sam Meza, her classmate in the junior class. Talia Della Peruta making just her 4th start of the year tonight, 11th appearance. Junior from Cumming, Georgia, just northwest of Atlanta. Della Peruta is such a key piece as a freshman in the 2020 season, starting 19 games that year, but then played in just 8 games last year due to injury. Didn't play this season until the 25th of September against Boston College. And we're the United States Women's U20 World Cup team. Della Peruta, very talented, very versatile player. First goal of the season against Pitt back on the 6th of October. Now Cox was thinking another. Sentner. Sentner's got space. Moving left. Sentner looking for the angle. It's blocked. She'll keep it alive herself. Drop it back for Patterson. Avery Patterson, constant on the forward line for North Carolina this season, has played plenty of defense in her career. Played some outside back late in the Old Dominion game, but perhaps that was what sparked North Carolina to dropping her back in the formation here tonight. Sentner will take this corner for the Tar Heels, their 4th of the game. Georgia yet to take a corner. Curves it in. Space on the run out for the Bulldogs, but taken back by Sentner, who plays it to Emily Colton. Central for Della Peruto, who scored just a moment ago. Libby Moore. Patterson now. She scored 11 times this year. Very, very dangerous, even coming up on those overlapping runs from the back line. Julia Dorsey will throw it in here for Carolina as the Tar Heels keep the pressure on. North Carolina led against Virginia back on September the 17th, 2-0 at halftime. Cavaliers scored 3 goals in the second half, earned the win, first time in Tar Heel program history. They've led a game 2-0 and lost it in regulation. Nice pass for Colton. Colton to Della Peruta. So one more goal here if you're North Carolina. You feel good about this one. Georgia, meanwhile, plenty of time to try and claw their way back. Here's Risch, headed on by Boyan, and Emmy Allen as the ball knocked free. Heavy contact and a foul on Georgia. Allen contacted the Bulldog player making the run there. That was Mally McKenzie. Let's see this again. So it was headed forward, and then as Allen tried to play it, McKenzie just couldn't stop herself. Like a wide receiver coming over the middle of the field against a safety. 2 teams in the top 13 in the college football playoff rankings this week. Bulldogs and Tar Heels. Cox streaking forward as her defender beat. Cox can't turn the corner though. Good recovery. Cox had the step there. It will be a corner for the Tar Heels, number 5, and Sentner will take it. Right into the gloves of Jordan Brown. Carolina set to make some subs. The next opportunity will be the familiar first 2 subs of a half, at least over the last games or so. Maddie Dowling, Maggie Pierce making a change at the top of the formation and at the holding midfield spot. Cox in space. Look at Cox. Through ball for a streaking Sentner. Allie Sentner! Back-to-back braces! Isabel Cox got into space. And a magnificent through ball for Allie Sentner. Prior to last game against Old Dominion, North Carolina had just one brace all year, which it's a sign of a balanced offense, yes. But Avery Patterson had the brace earlier on this season against Texas. Scored both goals in a 2-0 win. Now, Allie Sentner has 4 goals in her last 2 games. 2 goals and an assist against Old Dominion. And now, here tonight, against Georgia, Sentner with this goal in the 57th minute. Assist will go to Isabel Cox. For Cox, that's assist number 7 on the season. So now a 3-0 deficit. Emmy Allen handles that long-distance shot. And the Georgia Bulldogs find themselves with their backs against the wall in this 5th all-time meeting against North Carolina. Chilly night at Dorrance Field for this 2nd round matchup in the NCAA Women's Soccer Tournament. BYU played 110 minutes, drew Stanford 1-1, advanced on penalty kicks. Cougars now presumably have found some food and somewhere warm. Foul on Colton. This will be a free kick from about 25 yards away for Georgia. The Cougars get off their feet to turn around and play the winner of this one, which, barring something unforeseen, will be North Carolina. Saturday morning at 11:30. Here comes the free kick. Right into the wall. Boyan took it, blocked by the Tar Heels. Shot sails out top off the right foot of Danny Murguia. Graduate student out of Cleburne, Texas. Sentner maybe thinking hat trick. Darlene, can she get the corner turns? Darlene called for the foul. What's wild to me is that Sentner has 4 goals in this tournament, 2 against ODU, 2 against Georgia. And that is not the most of any player in the event. Sentner takes it away. Sentner into space. Look out, she might shoot. Instead drops it off for Della Peruta, the other goal scorer for the Tar Heels. Della Peruta inside the box. Really far out shot from Colton. It'll be a goal kick for Georgia. Colton started every game the last couple of years for the Tar Heels. Sentner heads off along with Colton to a loud round of applause from the Tar Heel faithful here at Dorrance. So Sentner will sit with her 2 goals tonight. If you were with us for our first game, you saw Jasmine Ike of Stanford score the 1 goal for the Cardinal, her 5th of the tournament. She had 4 in the first round against San Jose State, and then a 5th today against BYU. Still 1 more than Sentner. Now, the difference between the two is that Ike's tournament run is now over, with BYU knocking out the Cardinal. Sentner and the Tar Heels showing no signs of slowing down. And just think about it this way. Sentner had 7 goals coming into tonight. So 5 goals in the regular season plus the ACC tournament when she didn't score. 4 goals in the last 2 games. That is an emphatic way to answer the call of, we need the front line to be more than just the Avery Patterson show. Dowling. Tori Hansen chases it back for North Carolina. Settled down by Emmy Allen. Tori Della Peruta, younger sister Talia. Ball guided out by Haugen, much to the dismay. Check that. It's a foul call on Murphy. So the complaints coming from the Carolina faithful. And a free kick for Brown. Sember. Another Carolina corner, their 6th. Georgia's still without a corner. Tar Heels have now exceeded their corner number against ODU last time out in the first round. 5 corners in that game after none against Florida State. So that's another positive for this Tar Heel team tonight. Back to earning corners at a very rapid rate. Even with those 2 games of being down and earning corners, Tar Heels tops in the ACC, number 22 in the nation, 6.6 a game into play tonight. Sember keeps the ball at her feet, takes a long shot that Brown handles just underneath the crossbar. Third save by Jordan Brown tonight. 1 made by Emmy Allen in the other net. Check out the challenge from Sember. Scored last year against Clemson. A 3-0 Tar Heel win in late September. Abby Boyan. And that'll be a goal kick, last touch by Boyan. Tori Hansen, one of the senior leaders of this team. Georgia makes a sub, by the way. Ruby Hellstrom, the Washington transfer, comes back in. Jessie Dunn to the bench. Dunn playing back in her home state. Clearly the temperature's dipped out there because Gennady McAlpine has added his own heavy winter jacket. So now both coaches clad in their respective team heavy coats and winter hats. Tori Della Peruta. Bulldogs trying to build something here, looking to get on the scoreboard. Hellstrom, the substitute. Hellstrom, one touch forward. Moxley gets there for the Tar Heels. Moxley, UNCW transfer. Key defensive piece the last couple of years for Anson Dorrance's team. Stepping into the back line when a player was needed badly after the 2 season-ending injuries to Macy Bell and Kaylee Hare earlier this year. Brown makes the play on a shot from Darlene just inside the box. Carolina's 12th shot of the game, now tripling the number of shots Georgia has, 12-4. Carolina has had double the shots of their opponent in 16 of the 21 games played so far this year. Just mentioned it's triple tonight. Number 2 seed in this region. Notre Dame is the 1 seed. They will play at home tomorrow against Santa Clara, champions the West Coast Conference, the same league to which BYU belongs. BYU already through to the round of 16. The other game in South Bend is Michigan State and TCU. Michigan State, the Big Ten champions. So Notre Dame, if they're able to advance out of that mini pod, beat Santa Clara, and then the winner of Michigan State TCU, the Fighting Irish would host in the national quarterfinal next week. North Carolina, should they advance out of this mini pod by holding on to this lead and then beating BYU on Saturday, and then Notre Dame gets upset at any juncture this weekend, Tar Heels would get to play at home, but that home game next weekend is not guaranteed. So Georgia will take their first corner of the game here in the 69th minute. Just past the goal mouth, nothing doing for the Bulldogs, and a goal kick for North Carolina. Abby Boyan's Georgia Bulldogs being held down by the Tar Heels tonight. But I asked Anson Dorrance prior to the tournament about the idea of being a 2 seed and put it in the context of what gives you the bigger chip on the shoulder. Is it the loss to South Carolina in the first round last year, or being a 2 seed? Because there's a live committee look-in, something the NCAA does. Turnover deep in the defensive end. Boyan takes a shot, just misses the near post. Georgia will make a sub. Take a look at this shot from Boyan. Sends Allen sprawling out, but was not on frame. Georgia with just 1 shot on goal tonight. Faith Ferrer, sophomore forward from Cumming, Georgia, comes in. It's the same hometown as the Della Peruta sisters. But the NCAA, as many sports do, the committee offers an if the season ended now rankings somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 to 3 weeks prior to the selection show. In women's soccer, the Tar Heels were the number 2 national seed at the time of those projected rankings. But the draw against Duke in the ACC tournament, they did get through on PKs and then lost to Florida State in the ACC tournament final. It dropped North Carolina all the way down and out of a top 4 seed. So there was some talk both locally in Chapel Hill and also on a national soccer stage about North Carolina dropping out of the top 4, but Anson Dorrance was clear the bigger chip on the shoulder definitely came from the 1-0 loss to South Carolina in the first ever first-round exit last year. And it's not as if that was a roster that was loaded up with senior talent and it's a brand new season. Yes, every team is different, but every starter, except for goalkeeper Claudia Dickey, came back. What a laser from Bella Sember, but right at Brown. So many players on this team. A year older, a year wiser, fueled by that experience. Now just about 18 minutes away from returning to the tournament's round of 16. Several substitutes standing at the table for North Carolina. Pierce lofted forward. Della Rose making the run from the outside back spot. Della Rose out of bounds off Georgia. Here come the subs for North Carolina. Libby Moore returns. Paige Tolentino into the proceedings. Also Rachel Jones. Rachel Jones back in the lineup for North Carolina. The 5th-year senior. Jones was unavailable the last couple of games for the Tar Heels because she was on international duty, playing for the Jamaican women's national team. Helped Jamaica qualify for the Women's World Cup in 2023. Jones is a Georgia native but has Jamaican ancestry and plays for the team known as the Reggae Girls. So congratulations to Rachel and the Jamaican national team playing in the World Cup in Australia and New Zealand next year. Here's Rachel Jones. Not as much of a role this season in terms of scoring as some years past for the Tar Heels, but such a well-respected leader in this locker room. Battled some injury early this year and then stepping away for the international duty. Flag stays down. Della Peruta. Tori Della Peruta into the box. Beats one defender, and the shot is blocked by her own teammate. Emily Murphy got in the way of the ball off the foot of Della Peruta. Don't know if it was going to go on frame. Let's see it. So Della Peruta does a great job to settle it down cleanly. Have the defender beat. It would have been close. Probably would have been playable for Brown just because of how well she guarded the post there. But you never know with the traffic in front of the goal. Oh well. That one's a lot more meaningful than a scoreless game or a one-goal game. Tar Heels up 3-0. Allie Sentner with her second consecutive brace. 23rd minute goal. Then Talia Della Peruta with a goal in the 51st. Sentner in the 57th to push the lead to 3-0. North Carolina 15 minutes away from a date with the BYU Cougars on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Bella Sember skies it over the goal. Tar Heels will make a substitution here. First time in a couple of games that Ruby Grant comes on for Carolina. Libby Moore to the bench, 15th appearance for Grant. Sophomore from London. Scored a goal against Louisville in the regular season finale, helping the Tar Heels secure a share of the ACC regular season championship They shared it with Florida State, but earned the 1 seed thanks to a 2-1 win over FSU in the regular year. Tori Della Peruta has come off the bench the majority of the second half of the year. 7 starts in the early portion of the season. Well, 7 starts in non-conference play, in fact. Tar Heels trying to preserve the clean sheet here. And that will go by the wayside. A goal for Georgia. Madison Haugen, the junior, puts Georgia on the board. Haugen stepping up in the left-footed boot, sneaks past Allen. 4th goal of the season for Madison Haugen. So Georgia on the board. Georgia still has some life here. 13-19 to go. They need to find their way to 2 goals to prolong this one. North Carolina has only conceded in a win, not had to come from behind once. Murphy crosses it in front. Almost a reverse of the connection from Della Peruta to Murphy a couple of moments ago. Now here comes Georgia on the counter. Bulldogs trying to strike quickly for another one. Haugen heads it forward. Hellstrom, the grad student from Washington, no one home on the far post to put it in. Georgia got as good a look as you could ask for less than a minute after the last goal. Ruby Hellstrom didn't have any help over there. And now, just as quickly as that whole sequence played out, Anson Dorrance and Damon Nahas have their starters, at least several of them, up and ready to check back into this one. Sure, it's going to be a tall mountain to climb for Georgia to put 2 goals on the board here and equalize this one at 3-3. Jones steps forward, slows it down. Jones sees a shooting lane, left of the frame. So here come the starters for North Carolina back in with just under 11.5 left. To finish the point, it is a tall mountain to climb for Georgia to put 2 on the board here. But North Carolina, you want to see the Tar Heels close this one strong, carry momentum into the BYU game Saturday morning. Not a game where you got to hang on for dear life. Bulldogs on the offensive again. Haugen the goal scorer. Patterson will throw this in for the Tar Heels. Tar Heels chant starting to come to life for the hardy souls who are braving the cold here tonight. The folks in Carolina Blue, they've seen their home team open up a 3-0 advantage. Georgia's pulled one back. But North Carolina less than 10 minutes away from moving on to the round of 16. Sentner, 2 goals. Second straight brace for Sentner. Finds Cox. Georgia again. Hellstrom led a very solid look a couple of minutes ago. Time getting late for the Bulldogs now. Jada Gibson, 8 in red, is on. Touched the ball a moment ago. Forward, headed on by Hellstrom. Allen plays it away, and it'll roll over the end line for a Georgia corner. Critical set piece for the Bulldogs here, their 3rd corner of the game. Checked out their 2nd. Stats are very quick to update. Abby Boyan stands over the ball for the Bulldogs. Slipped forward again. Second ball sails well high into the netting. Carolina dodges that one. Kate Harden and the Bulldogs up to 8 shots on the contest, but the Tar Heels still doubling up Georgia in the shot column, 16-8. Sentner. Through ball. Can Cox get there? No, she can't. Morgan Hart plays it back. Moxley. Moxley into space. Patterson looking to weave her way through the midfield, take it away. Sentner. Too strong for Colton. Right idea, though. Good idea, says someone down below in the crowd. It's a Georgia foul. And more than that, card will come out. Our first booking of the night is a yellow card on Abby Boyan, the graduate midfielder. All SEC first team selection. Colton, 2v2 in the box. Defenders collapse for Georgia, but Colton keeps it at her feet. Della Peruta. Wide now for Moxley. Nice ball. Colton again. Colton centers. Sentner had a look for a hat trick. Couldn't put it on frame. Patterson with a nice touch for Colton. Riley Sentner had that near post. You can let that slide when she's got a second consecutive 2-goal game. First career brace, last game against Old Dominion, second here tonight against Georgia. Back-to-back braces for the Tar Heels standout. Someone get her an NIL deal with an orthodontist. 5 to play. In the official record books, North Carolina and BYU have played just once. 2012 in Provo in the NCAA quarterfinals, a 1-0 North Carolina win, en route to the Tar Heels winning the College Cup that year for the 21st time. That's North Carolina's most recent national championship back in 2012. Now, we preface that statement with the official record books. BYU was here at Dorrance Field back in mid-August to play an exhibition game. BYU's lone exhibition of the preseason, North Carolina's second. Tar Heels won that game 2-0 over to the Cougars in a very, very high-powered exhibition game, at least in terms of program relevance. The reigning national runners-up in BYU, the 22-time national champion North Carolina Tar Heels. But you just think about how much teams change from mid-August in the preseason to mid-November in the NCAA round of 16. Should be a fascinating matchup. Isabel Cox working it into the corner, bleeding out clock. Two of the more prolific offenses in the entire country. North Carolina came into play here today. Top 20 in the nation in shots on goal per game, 26th in shots per game, 10th in total goals. And they'll get a BYU team that puts a ton of shots on frame. BYU unbeaten since September 10th. No one there on the other end of the through ball for Georgia. Tar Heels and Cougars, a matchup befitting the round of 16. BYU will have a little bit more rest by a couple of hours, but they played more today. 110 minutes versus the 90 of the Tar Heels, and all you have to do is look at the rosters and see that North Carolina's got more depth than BYU. So you wonder how that's going to come into play. You wonder how the home field aspect's going to come into play. Body clock, too. BYU will be playing at 9:30 a.m. local time, at least as to how their body feels on Saturday. But when you're here a couple of days, that becomes much less of a factor. Either way, should be fun. Saturday at 11:30. Hope you join us on ESPN+. North Carolina and BYU in the rounds of 16. Give Georgia a ton of credit, though. Keidane McAlpine in his first year at the helm of the Bulldogs, coming from USC, earns Georgia their first NCAA tournament berth since 2014, their first NCAA tournament home game since 2007, and a win in this event. Moving on to the second round for the first time in over a decade. For some of these seniors who haven't experienced the success between the lines that they would have hoped in their Georgia career, able to have a memorable year this year and earn the tournament berth. A 7-game unbeaten streak from mid-October that will come to a close here tonight. A bona fide foundation set. Georgia climbing the ranks of SEC contenders for years to come. Would not be surprised if these two teams, just given their stature and geographic location, meet again sometime soon in the NCAAs. But for now, final 10 seconds will tick off the clock. Allie Sentner's second straight brace propels North Carolina into the round of 16. The Tar Heels defeat Georgia 3-1. And it'll be North Carolina and BYU on Saturday morning. The NCAA's Sweet 16 rounds. Sentner with 4 goals on the tournament. She and the Tar Heels moving on. Georgia's season draws to a close at 13-6-3. Time to rest up for North Carolina. Saturday at 11:30 will be here before you know it. BYU and the Tar Heels here at Dorrance Field in their second ever NCAA tournament meeting. For our great ESPN Plus crew, putting in a lot of work today, a triple header here at Dorrance Field, 2 women's games and a men's game. I'm Matt Kraus. Thanks so much for joining us here on this Thursday. North Carolina wins it over Georgia. 3-1 is your final. Good night from Chapel Hill.